It's not okay to not follow your heart and not listen to your intuition. I want to start by saying that in 2023, I wrote a note on my iPad about how we've been systematically taught that we have to stick to a certain timeline, we have to have certain jobs, we have to get a good job, we might be trained that we have to go to college. All these things that our parents told us, that their parents told them out of fear, and some might even say misguidance. But our collective is shifting out of that mindset, and I just want to share some thoughts and hopefully show some of you that you are not alone and that many of us feel this way. Many of us feel like we're going against the grain, that we're the only ones in our area or in our life who challenge societal norms, and that's okay. And it's okay not to know where you're going. It's okay to not have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, but it's not okay to not follow your heart and not listen to your intuition. If something is not meant for you, then leave it. If you hate your job, if you absolutely dread waking up, try something different if you're able to. And I know that not all of us are that lucky, but if you can make small changes to improve your daily life, I think that your entire life will get better. So to begin, a little bit about me. I have always had anxiety and stress and constant worry that I didn't have and still don't have a concrete plan as to what I want to do with the rest of my life. I know that I want to help people. I know that I am put on this earth for a reason, and a big reason, and I know that I'm here to help. I'm here to shed light on people. The only way that I know to do that on a collective level is through social media. And I can be a light in others' lives who are around me, and I am, but to affect the collective, I need a broader outlet, which is why I am going to start posting these videos. I'm currently a senior in my second semester of college, so my last semester, and in May I will graduate. I have no idea what I want to do. I have no idea what kind of job I'm going to get. I know that I need to work to make money and live, but what that work is going to be, I do not know. It's so crazy to me how you think your life is going to go one way, and you have all these things that you want to do in high school. You have all these future plans, and sometimes they just don't happen. I thought for sure I would be moving out of my home state as soon as I graduated college, but I know for a fact that I'll be in my home state for a few years post-graduation, and it's okay that my life's not going according to that plan, because I do trust in divine timing, and I think everyone else should. The false narrative that we're taught as children and is repeated to us through middle school, high school, and even in college is that we need to have it figured out. We need to have a stable job that we're gonna work at until we're 60, and then retire, have 10, 20 years left to live, and that's just not acceptable to me. That's not okay. And I know with such a concreteness in my heart that that's not what life should be. That's not what anyone should have to do. That's what most of our parents have done. I really hope as a society we're transitioning out of that narrative. And personally, through social media, I've seen so many people start their own businesses and passion projects and make a living, and a really killer living at that, doing what they love and serving people. There are some people who absolutely love their traditional jobs, like teachers, nurses, doctors, whoever. And if that's your life path, that is perfect. You're serving, and I personally deeply appreciate you and I admire you. However, I know that a traditional career path such as those types of careers are not for me, and they're not for a lot of other people. But I know for me, coming from a small town in a small state with very closed-minded people, that I was conditioned to believe that that was the only option. And for a while, for a lot of people, it was. You know, my mom, my dad, they went to college. They got a job as soon as they graduated, and they've been working at that job for their whole lives. It's almost like we're conditioned to think we have to have our life mapped out and all together by the time we graduate college so that we can get a good job, settle down, buy a house, create a family, have kids, get married. And with so much that has shifted and changed in our current reality, I just don't think that's the right narrative for us in this current day and age. But if it is for you, then that's beautiful and that's great. But I'm speaking to those who know it in their heart that that's not for them. I feel like that's the old way of being, and some people have figured out that that's not the right path for them because we don't always know what we want to do for the rest of our lives when we graduate high school. I think that it is absolutely ridiculous that 18-year-olds whose brain isn't even fully developed yet need to choose a career path so they can go to college and make it happen. While some people do have their whole lives figured out by 18, a lot of people don't. A lot of people spend a lot of money and time and resources on pursuing careers that they figure out a few years later that they don't even like. And while everything's a learning experience, and I believe that nothing is a waste of time because of the lessons learned, I think it sometimes takes a little while to figure out what you want to do, figure out what your passions are, figure out what your dreams are, and truly do what your heart wants. So I realized it's okay that I don't have a traditional path and that I don't want a traditional career. As long as I'm making money to support myself and keep myself alive, at the end of the day, that's what's important. And I can follow my dreams on the side. I refuse to go down a path that is not meant for me. I don't have to move immediately when I graduate. I don't have to have my life figured out when I graduate. I'm gonna be 22. I still have so much life ahead of me, and so do you. It's okay to take your time and figure things out with time and patience, and it's okay not to have all the answers. If you're also in your 20s, I think this time is truly for figuring yourself out, figuring out what your passions are, figuring out what you love, trial and error. There is no such thing as failure if you learn a lesson while doing it, because sometimes those lessons can teach us more profound things than our successes ever could. And it's okay to think that you don't have enough time, but I just want to remind you that you do. You don't have to stick to the timeline that others have set for you. You are in charge of your life, you are in charge of your destiny, and you are in charge of your reality. You create your reality. If you live in a negative mindset, you will live in a negative reality. If you live in a positive mindset, trust divine timing, and take the opportunities that are given to you and search out those opportunities, and you will live in a positive world. I truly hope that some of the people watching this resonate with this and connect with this and relate to me, because I just want to let everyone know that they're not alone. And just because you don't have it all figured out right now doesn't mean that you're going down the wrong path, or you're going to run out of time, or that you have to have it all figured out right now, because you don't. But as all things in life, only time will tell. So take the time to learn those lessons. Take the time to not succeed. Take the time to figure out what your dreams are and follow them, even if people think you are crazy, because what is meant for you will be, and what is not meant for you will not. So trust your intuition, learn to listen to it more, and let your heart guide you. I hope this helps. I'm sweating, and I have a cat that once held and sat on my lap.